realistic about that in the interest of our country, our whole country, not just Newfoundland and Labrador.
To tell the House why this government is managing the Federation in a manner which is driving the federal-provincial relations into the ground.
Mr. Speaker, certainly one of the principles involved in equalization is that all provinces should be treated equally. That is indeed what we are doing. It is not open to one province to elect to have unrestrained growth of equalization, sharing payments, whether it's through the Accords or through formal equalization. That is exactly what is being suggested by the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. We believe in fairness across the board in Canada, and that is why growth in the Accord incomes and in equalization is fair, realistic about that in the interest of our country, our whole country, not just Newfoundland and Labrador.
How can the Prime Minister assure the House that the budget implementation legislation will not be used to settle political scores with any Premier or any province?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What the budget implementation bill will not be used for will be to permit one province to have unrestrained payments. We are calling on all of the provinces to be reasonable, that the growth in equalization payments will be equal to the rate of growth in the economy, without exception, including Newfoundland and Labrador. But if the member from British Columbia does not understand the issue, I invite him to my office immediately after question period, where we're having a briefing of the Liberal opposition on that precise issue. There's a question there, Mr. Speaker, but if it is a question about the fairness of equalization, what is that?
Pipe down. Let the man speak. Order. The Minister of Finance has the floor. We'll have a little order in the House, please. The Honourable Minister of Finance.
You know, the O'Brien formula enunciated certain principles which are being followed. One of the concerns in the O'Brien formula, with respect to which the Liberal member from Newfoundland and Labrador, who's creating a great bit of noise here, is a recognition of commodities prices and the variabilities in commodities prices. And we have to be realistic about that in the interest of our country, our whole country, not just Newfoundland and Labrador.
Go and tell the Premier of Quebec, Jean Charest, who is upset at this Prime Minister for having gone back on his word to Quebec. Why does the Prime Minister think that going back on one's word is the best way to manage our country and this federation?
Realistic about that in the interest of our country, our whole country, not just Newfoundland and Labrador.
Minister of Finance.
Speaker, the member opposite suggests I say this to Premier Charest. I have. I can assure her. I said it to him this weekend, as a matter of fact. Quebec will receive $8.3 billion in equalization this year, a 70% increase from the time of the Liberal government in Canada. No wonder the Liberals are supporting our budget bill, Mr. Speaker.
Last week, the government of Newfoundland and Labrador asserted that changes to the equalization formula, which affects Atlantic Accord payments, will gouge the province of up to $1.6 billion over the next 3 years. Other estimates are being tossed around.
Realistic about that in the interest of our country, our whole country, not just Newfoundland and Labrador. Mr. Speaker, the member opposite is welcome to come to my office right after question period for a briefing by finance officials. He can have all the detail he wants about equalization in Canada, but what he won't get is unequal equalization. That is, across Canada, we are restraining the growth of equalization so that it does not grow at 15%. The member is screeching over here. Screech is a product of Newfoundland, I know, my friend, but relax now. You're being a bit noisy over there. I can hardly speak. You're welcome to come to the office at 3 o'clock and look at all the data. Realistic about that in the interest of our country, our whole country, not just Newfoundland and Labrador.